Hello everyone, we will explain the circle of walls. The circle of walls is composed from anastomosis between the two internal carotid arteries and the two vertebral arteries. So firstly we will discuss about the vertebral artery. Vertebral artery, it arises from the first part of the subclavian artery and ascends in the neck through the transverse foramen of the upper six cervical vertebrae, then enters the cranial cavity through the foramen magnum and pierces the dura mater and arachnoid mater to lies in the subarachnoid space. Their wall passes forward on the medial side of the medulla oblongata and give rise the two branch from opposite side to form the anterior spinal artery that descends on the anterior surface of the spinal cord, and also give rise the two posterior spinal artery. There are another branches from the vertebral artery is called posterior inferior cerebellar artery that provide blood supply to the cerebellum. The vertebral artery ascends on the medulla oblongata and to reach to the inferior border of the pons to unite together to form the basilar artery. So basilar artery, the first branch of the basilar artery that ascends over the bones is called the anterior inferior cerebellar artery. Also there are small branches arises from the basilar artery. It is called pontine arteries and the superior cerebellar artery. The terminal branches of the basilar artery is posterior cerebral artery that participate in form the circle of walls. So this branches that arises from the vertebral artery and basilar artery. The internal carotid artery that considered one of the major arteries that participate in formation the circle of walls. The most important branches that arises from the internal carotid artery to form the circle of walls is the anterior cerebral artery. So two anterior cerebral artery arises from the internal carotid artery and communicate together by anterior communicating artery. Also give rise the posterior communicating artery that join the posterior cerebral artery. So these arteries collectively will form the circle of walls. So a circle of walls is composed from anterior communicating artery, two branches of the anterior cerebral artery, internal carotid artery, posterior communicating artery that joins the two branch of the posterior cerebral artery. There are additional branches arises from the internal carotid artery, the ophthalmic artery, anterior choroidal artery, and also middle cerebral artery that runs on the lateral sulcus of the brain. So this circle of walls, any question please write in the comments. Thank you for listening.